Hey everyone, it's the Whorehound. I'm back with another video for today. I haven't been posting lately since October ended. I was going to review Halloween Ends, but maybe I'll do that next time because for today I want to review Candyman 1992, and this review is honor of Tony Todd, dedicated to him. He passed away maybe a few days ago. I found out last night, and I think it was the other night actually, but I found out when I saw it, I was shocked and in disbelief. I have no words. I did not have no words. That was just shocked me the most because the horror community lost a horror icon, and Tony Todd will forever be a horror icon. He starred in Final Destination and he starred in Hatchet films. I didn't really watch those, but I think I should watch one of the Final Destinations in honor of him. I watched Final Destination 1, but I want to just review Candyman, which is his all-time classic horror film, and he plays the antagonist, he plays the villain, and he was perfect for Candyman, perfect for the role he was portraying. So I want to review this movie. It probably won't be long because this movie's a classic, a 90s horror movie classic. And so when Tony Todd passed away, I think he passed away November 6th, he was one of a kind. I never really met him personally, but I wish I did. But I know by other people's stories of meeting him in horror cons, and it's like he was just a nice, genuine person, and he will be missed by the horror community. So Tony Todd, this review, this is for you. So this movie came out in 1992, and I think the first time I watched it, I was maybe a few years ago, and I never really knew it existed. And when I watched it for the first time, I was shocked. Not shocked, but I was like, I had a feeling it was going to be good, but I didn't know it was going to be that good, and it was really that good. It has really good character development in it, and like the leading protagonist, Helen, which is played fabulously by the actress. I don't really remember her name, but she also did a video talking about Tony's death. She was really heartbroken too. But anyway, she really did good in it, has really good character writing, and especially Daniel Robitaille, Candyman, aka Candyman, which is Tony Todd's character, and he really had a gruesome backstory, and it was really good actually. And it shows how he came to be the Candyman. And I don't know why they call him Candyman. Well, he's associated with bees because he got stung by a lot of bees. And also, I'll tell you the backstory, which is a good backstory on Candyman or doing Daniel Robitaille, but he fell in love with a woman, and I think her father disliked that, so he hired a bunch of thugs to go to Daniel and like murder him on the spot, and they cut his hand off, and that's how he had his hook for a hand as well. When he gets summoned, obviously when you say his name 5 times in the mirror, which Helen did, it summoned him. So like before he became a spirit, he died by getting stung by a bunch of bees by the townsfolk or the thugs maybe, and then he cut his right arm hand off, put a hook on it, so that's how he has his infamous weapon, which is a really good weapon for Candyman. I really love the look of Candyman, the coat and stuff. I think it's a trench coat. and when he talks to his victims, it literally puts you in a trance. And I felt like I was in a trance because of his voice, because of Tony's voice, and like you literally just you feel like you're in the movie yourself, and you feel like you're getting tranced as Helen gets tranced. So like that's how really good his performance is throughout the whole Candyman movie. I never saw the other ones, but I have to now in honor of him. I saw the sequel or the remake. That was a good one. I really liked that one as well. When I'll review that next time, but this is I'm going to review this movie, and this was a good '90s horror movie, a classic, and there's really nothing wrong with it. They do everything right, and it makes you feel sympathy for Helen because she's framed for all these murders that she hasn't been doing, which Candyman is doing. So like she gets institutionalized, and she loses her husband because her husband is supposedly dating a college girl or something, which is kind of weird, a little bit bizarre. But I guess he needed a reason for him to be a douchebag or something. I guess that was his. I guess he was a douchebag because he liked another girl who was in college and didn't want to be with Helen. And when Helen became institutionalized, that's when he moved in with her, or he moved in. He moved her in his apartment, in their apartment, when she was institutionalized. So during a scene when Helen escaped, she comes back to the apartment, and then the husband is there, which his name is Trevor, and the college girl is there, and like it makes you feel for Helen a little bit, because her whole life is falling apart, and Candyman is pretty much the one who's doing it. She gets framed for murders, she loses Trevor, and like it makes you feel for Helen. Loses her friend and loses her job career, maybe, or her thesis career, and everything gets lost by Candyman. And I think that's what makes Candyman a brilliant villain, because he's literally putting Helen in a trance to commit these murders that she doesn't even do, which I think Candyman is doing. And when in a scene which is really dark, Candyman kills one of this character that was introduced in the beginning of the film, and he kills her dog, I think, and he kills her dog, and he doesn't kill the baby, but he steals the woman's baby, and the baby is missing, and then she thinks Helen obviously did something. So I really liked that character too. I forgot her name. I think her name was Marie, maybe. But Marie, which is the mother of the baby boy, which is Amy Anthony, Candyman takes it, and obviously Helen is accused of it. So that scene was really dark, though, because there's like blood everywhere. There was a dog that is beheaded by Candyman. There was some really dark moments in this movie, and I digged it for how dark they could go, and like how far Candyman is willing to go to make Helen have his victim, which is just his line monologue, "Be my victim," which is a classic line by Tony Todd. But so like, and also the soundtrack of this movie, fucking flawless. I really love this movie soundtrack, and like it really does the aerial shots of I think of the Chicago, probably, and the aerial shots of Cabrini Green, which is this gang territory, and Helen goes swooping around and taking pictures and all that for the thesis, and that's when she runs into Marie, and they have a conversation and all that, but it makes you feel for each character. It makes you feel for Marie for losing her baby, and it makes you feel for Helen for getting charged with these crimes and getting charged with these things she didn't even do when Bernadette died, which is her friend, Helen's friend. She got charged by that, or she got framed by that. So there's like these of sequences in this movie where Helen just goes through a lot, and then all the other side characters are going through so much too, including Trevor, I guess, because I guess he thinks his wife is a nut job, and now he's gonna go to the next best thing to a college student, which is kind of weird. Like I said, weird, um, but I wanted to give one more thing I want to say about this movie before I wrap it up. I'm going to say that Tony Todd, he was great in this movie, and he always will be. No, he always will be, because he made like all of the horror icons, like Freddy and Jason and Michael Myers and Chucky. There's all these certain actors that just make these movies influential to the horror community. All these actors made how these movies are today. Tony Todd made Candyman how it is today. And like when I say about other actors who play different horror characters, all these Freddy Krueger, Michael, Jason, all those actors have made these movies influential. So Tony Todd, he made this movie, and he made Candyman who he is today. And I wanted to say that, Tony Todd, we're gonna miss you, man. We're gonna miss you. The whole horror community is gonna miss you. And this movie, Candyman, will always live forever. And your role as Candyman would always live forever, and including other roles of horror and horror will always live forever. So I give Candyman a 10. And I watched it. When I watched it, I gave it a 10 also when I first watched it. But I've lost count how many times I watched this movie. Maybe my 10th time, probably. But this is a good movie, a classic. And now I'm going to go watch the sequel now. So I'll probably give you guys a review on that. And I'll see you guys next time. And Tony Todd, this review, it was for you. Rest in peace.